It's time to talk about Rasmus Højlund. Now, for so long, I've put off this video because I never came to terms with how much he's actually frustrated me, and I've tried to take my time and confide in it and actually put it into words without absolutely losing my temper and putting a hole through my wall, because that is what that player has done to me this season. Now, the videos are there, the evidence is there all over my channel. Last season and even towards the start of this season, I backed him and I thought it was going to be the next best thing. Genuinely, I thought we had our prospect Alan Shearer. The frame, the attributes, everything he showed at Atalanta, a bit up and down in his first season, but he had that period where he just looked absolutely on it, one of the best strikers in the world. I mean, at the same time, in that period of time last season in the Premier League, he won Premier League Player of the Month. Now, I know that's no normal stat for a 20-year-old striker to happen, right? But just putting into context, Kevin De Bruyne has never won a Player of the Month in the Premier League before. He scored like 7 goals in 6 games or something. Now, I know Erling Haaland does that for breakfast, but Rasmus Højlund isn't Erling Haaland. He's not Mbappe. I mean, right now, he's not even Andy Carroll at the moment. But you look at it and you're like, last season, he did show true potential. I was so excited to see how he would kick on this season. But the stats and evidence are out there, and Rasmus Højlund has had a horrendous season at Manchester United this season. It's just not been the season we wanted. And last season, he was out more times with injuries than he has been this season, so he's actually played more games for United this season than, like I said, like he did last season, and it's just not been a successful season for him so much. He's actually digressed as a player, and for me, you can't blame the likes of Xerxes or the system or certain other players in the team. He's got to take accountability. He's got to look at himself in the mirror, and it's make or break for him, because in this video, we're going to be talking about 5 things about Rasmus Højlund and what he can improve on. Let's just talk about him as a player in general. If you love football as much as I do, and you've been wondering for a while where's the best place to get it in an app, then you need to download SofaScore. SofaScore is currently one of the best apps on the market for all your football news, transfer news, and statistical analysis. You can search for every club in Europe's top 5 leagues, and even have a look at personal player profiles. So download SofaScore today using my link in the description below. Thank you so much for SofaScore for sponsoring the channel. Anyway, back to the video. Number 1, quality on and off the ball. Now, Rasmus Højlund, for me, is just not making the right decisions at the moment. And I'll look at the most previous game, because we'll base it off, you're only as good as your last game. And Rasmus Højlund scored a goal against Bournemouth. It was a tap-in. It was almost like he stuck his foot out on Agarte's shot. It looks like a great pass from Agarte, but I generally think Agarte actually shot, and Højlund just sticks his foot out and claims the goal. However, it's the moments for me that's the reason why I'm making this video. It was almost like the straw that broke the camel's back. Obi Martin came on, okay, and within 30 seconds, he has a shot. Bearing in mind at this moment in time, I think it was around the 75th minute or 76th minute or something when Obi Martin came on. Rasmus Højlund hadn't registered a shot all game, right? Obi Martin comes on, a young 17-year-old prospect who's been absolutely killing it in our youth academy this season. And what happens? Højlund all of a sudden like, oh, right, okay, that's how a striker operates. That's how a striker does it. And then Obi Martin then has a shot on target in the 80th minute. And then all of a sudden, you've got a 17-year-old currently showing up at 40, what much did he cost us? Was it 60 million or 70 million euros or something? Suddenly, you've got a 17-year-old showing up a 70 million pound striker. Now, we all know Højlund isn't that. We bought him that based on his potential and how good he can be. But like I've said earlier in the video, he's digressed. He's nowhere near worth that at the moment. I'd probably say he's worth half of that at the moment. And we're going to talk about later in the video as well whether Man United should sell him or not. For me, obviously, I'll explain it later in the video. But yeah, the first part we need to talk about is his movement on and off the ball. And if it's not running straight into dark alleys and brick walls, he's wrestling with defenders. He's got the wrong mentality when it comes to what his job is and what his role is. Now, I don't buy it that Ruben Amorim is telling Rasmus Højlund to wrestle with every single defender, because for a 6'3" striker, right, I've never seen a player so weak as a player that doesn't use his body, doesn't use his attributes correctly. If you want to go wrestle, mate, go join the UFC. The Premier League is not the sport for you if you're going to be wrestling every single defender. Because the amount of defenders that will just body you and have been bodying you all season is, for me, the reason why off the ball you're probably not getting past to, because your hold up play is poor, and when you're on the ball you make the wrong decisions. Against Wolves, we'll have a look at the game before Bournemouth. You had a clear opportunity to pass to Patrick Dorgu after doing the hard part of beating the Wolves defender. You did an amazing trick, you were through on goal, and all you had to do was either sprint with your explosive pace and charge into that box and be through one-on-one with the keeper, or have Patrick Dorgu to your right-hand side and square it off, and it would have been 1-0. And obviously, as we all know, we went on to lose that game against Wolves because of a dodgy free kick. I mean, it wasn't a dodgy free kick, it was a brilliant free kick, but it was just a ridiculous challenge from Eriksen, which is why we conceded the free kick. But anyway, talking about Rasmus Højlund, and for me, on the ball, he's never on it. So it's really hard to judge him on the ball because he really, really struggles with his dribbling when it comes to running with pace. We've said it from the first game we saw of Rasmus Højlund in his Arsenal friendly last season. Get Rasmus Højlund space, let him get in behind the defensive line and run onto the ball. And it seems that when he's on the ball and he's trying to dribble and run with the ball, he really struggles. Like, it's like he's almost walking on Lego at times. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous to watch. He doesn't look like a professional footballer at times. I mean, who am I to say? I play Saturday football in my personal life, and my right back, we all know that right backs are one of the worst positions on the pitch to play. I have no right to be talking about Rasmus Højlund, but as it comes to Premier League strikers and the requirements it takes, Rasmus Højlund doesn't not look like a professional footballer if you compare other just basic strikers in the league. You know, your Raul Jimenez for Fulham. Who else? Even that what's he called for Southampton? You've got like Liam Delap as well for Ipswich. He's just been relegated and he looks like a better striker than Rasmus Højlund. It's his first season in the Premier League and he's scored 12 or 13 goals. He's absolutely shown Højlund up. Højlund's scored 14 goals in 2 seasons. Fucking Delap's come up, and that's why I think United are linked with him. He's got a 30 million release clause. He's English. He's young. And you're looking at him and you're like, he's just come up from the Championship and almost got the same talent in 1 season than you have in 2 seasons. It's not on at all. But like I said, we need to talk about his mentality now, because that's number 2. Because for me, I just think he's got the wrong mindset and the wrong attitude as well. I can't remember which game it was off the top of my head. I want to say it was the Lyon game, and there was a moment where Garnacho took a shot, I believe it was, or Bruno took a shot, and he didn't receive the pass, and then he just boots the corner post, and you're there like, what's that about? You can tell he plays with emotion on the pitch, and that's not good. Like, you need to have confidence as a footballer. You need to know that it's not about who you're up against. It's about what you can do on the pitch. Forget everybody else, because everyone else has got their own strengths and weaknesses. You need to be confident in your own ability as a footballer, no matter what your position is on the pitch, but especially as a striker. You've got to know that you know how to put that ball in the back of the onion basket. It's simple. You know that you're one of the biggest you're one of the biggest players on the pitch. You're supposed to be one of the quickest as well, and you need to utilise that. And Højlund doesn't. And this is why I'm saying with his mindset as well. Like, a lot of the fans don't like Bruno Fernandes for his petulance and his moaning, okay? But Bruno's world class. Bruno can get away with it because he's the captain. He pulls us out of every single hole we find ourselves in, no matter what. Bruno, if he wants to have a little bit of a bitch and a little bit of moan, let him, like you do with your missus. Like, you let him mouth it out a little bit, and then all of a sudden they calm down, but, you know, everything's sorted then. You allow it with Bruno Fernandes, but with Rasmus Højlund, when you contribute fuck all, you're going to look at it as an extra negative to what he's already bringing to the team. Højlund at times is like playing with 10 men. And I really don't want to come across like the United stand here, or the negative stand, should we call, because they've been criticised for so long about slandering our players. But I can't be the only fan feeling this frustration and this emotion about Rasmus Højlund. I want him to do well. I want him to be the best striker in the league. I want us to be able to say, yeah, we poached him early. Yeah, it cost us a bit of money, but Atalanta saw the potential as well. So we made a decent deal with him. But we got him, and Ruben Amorim made him the best striker in world football. I hope that's the case. But right now, I just don't see it. And that's where we're going to talk about number 3, his potential. Because his potential, like I said, the video and the evidence is there on my channel from last year. I was gassing him up. No matter what, I thought it was going to be the next best thing. Like I said, I thought we signed our Alan Shearer. I thought we were going to have the next best striker in world football. 20 years old, standing at 6'3", absolutely rapid. That moment he had, I think it was November or December last year, where he won Premier League Player of the Month. That's an accomplishment in itself. And obviously that was under Ten Hag. But it's just, I don't want to sound daft because I've got a Rocky tattoo, but he needs to get his eye of the tiger back. He needs to get that goal-scoring confidence, that poacher's instinct to be, you know what, I am the main man for Manchester United. I wear the number 9 shirt. I am the one with the biggest set of bollocks in this team, and I'm going to score past every fucker that stands in my way. I'm sorry for my language, but clearly we've gone off a bit coarse here, and it's a sponsored video, so, you know, I've got to kind of rein it in a little bit. I might have to bleep this out. But, yeah, it's just with his potential. I think he's got the right attributes. Like I've said, he's tall, he's strong, he's fast. But at the moment, like I said, if he's not going to use his strengths, then his potential is going to digress very, very quickly. Now, looking at the sponsor video today, obviously with SofaScore, if you have a look on their market, they've got probably one of the best up-to-date stats and player profiles. I think it updates every 48 hours. And you look at Rasmus Højlund now, I'm looking at his player profile. And at 22 years old, you know, he's got potential, because you're looking at how long certain players are going on for now, reaching their 38s, 36s as well. Reaching the mid-30s, like, 10 years ago or 15 years ago, you were seeing players retire in the 30s or early 30s, like 31, 32. Now you're seeing players go into the mid-30s. So for Rasmus Højlund's generation, who knows, they might be able to play up till the 40. So that's still what, at least, we'll call it, let's say Højlund retires at 36. He's still got 13 years at the top, right? Or 13 years of his career. Does he really want to be one of them strikers that's a bronze card on FIFA? Like, if that was me and I played for Manchester United, I definitely wouldn't be. And I'm going to put it on screen now, his season heat map. And you look at it, and realistically, it's more, obviously, the darker the colours, the more area of the position he's in consistent moments. Tell me why he's got hardly any dark colours in the opposition box. It's always around the midfield. That is not good enough. Like, I'm not being funny, but that says it all to me. And that is just this season. That isn't last season as well. That is based on this season. But yeah, you've just got to look at him and you're like, how does he fix this? Can Ruben Amorim get the best out of him? And based on Amorim's track record with what he did with Victor Gyökeres, signing him from Coventry for like, what was it, £1 million or whatever it was, and all of a sudden he goes on to be one of the best strikers in the world. Now I know that's a kind of a freak accident almost, but Gyökeres is also 26, and I look at Gyökeres and I'm like, yeah, you are seen as one of the best strikers in the world. Now you are going to be seen, for me, Gyökeres is going to be seen like Lewandowski, one of the most elite strikers in the world. However, because he didn't burst onto the scene earlier, like your Mbappes and your Haalands, he's not going to be given the same respect as what they did. And much like it was with Messi and Ronaldo and Benzema, like with the likes of Lewandowski, like it wasn't until he joined Bayern Munich in his mid-20s that he actually became a world-class striker. I mean, he was mint at Dortmund, don't get me wrong. But, you know, it wasn't until he was at Bayern Munich and competing for Champions Leagues and winning the title every single season was where people started to recognise him as one of the best strikers in the world. So I'm pretty sure when Gyökeres moves to the Premier League, because it's inevitable, it'll happen at some point, you'll see him get that reputation. And I really want the same to happen to Højlund as well. But yeah, when it comes to Højlund's potential, I just really think that he's gonna struggle personally. But yeah, we'll have to talk about the fourth segment now, and that is, does he fit the team? Now, United haven't got a striker. We know this. Xerxes, I'm not going to compete him. For me, I really like Xerxes. I didn't at the start of the season. I've completely done a 180 on Xerxes, but you know what? He was really growing on me before his injury. And his dribbling ability, his technical side of it, he just doesn't shoot enough. So you can't say he's a striker. So, you know, he suits that 10 role perfectly. And I've even thought, why don't you do a Joe Linton? Xerxes is a big bastard. Xerxes is a massive player who can, who can bully a defender. But he's also got the ball's like a magnet to him. The ball sticks to him at times, and he's got good distribution. He's got good physicality. Now, his work rate and pace are a bit of a letdown, but Joe Linton's an absolute beast for Newcastle. Why don't we try that? Why don't we try and put him in midfield and see like a bit like a Fellaini job and put him in midfield? Who can win aerial duels, who can dribble with the ball at his feet, who has the distribution ability to pass it out wide to the wing backs or the creative 10s or even the striker. Maybe Xerxes could become a very good number 8, but maybe that's for another video. We'll talk about that in another. But obviously, but I have a bit of a tangent there about Xerxes and Højlund, about how he fits the system. Xerxes is not a striker, is what I'm trying to say, right? I don't see him as a number 9. He's a 9.5. He said it himself. He said it to Rio Ferdinand in that interview. And then we've got Chido Martin, right? Obviously, we've got Rashford, who's playing for Villa, but I've never really seen Rashford as a striker. I've just always seen him a bit like, a winger, an inside forward almost. I've never seen Rashford as that elite striker for us, where Højlund is our only striker. And if you want to include Chido Martin, he's really showing Højlund up recently in that last game against Bournemouth. And if he gets more chances, I'm pretty sure at the start of next season, if United don't sign a striker in the summer, I can guarantee you Obi Martin will be United's starting striker by the end of next season if United don't sign a striker and Højlund doesn't book his ideas up. It's as clear as that, because Obi Martin's got a lot of potential, and I'm pretty sure Amorim, he doesn't owe these players anything. These aren't his players. He's inherited this squad. He owes these players nothing. If it comes to sink or swim or push or shove, like, I'm not being funny, he's going to push every player overboard that doesn't suit his system so he succeeds. And that's a selfish mindset you want from your manager. You want your manager to succeed because they're the one who influence the game plan on the pitch. But yeah, does Højlund suit this team? You've got to say yes, because if Højlund starts using his attributes right, the amount of times United can get quick passes off, tiki-taka football, link-up play, counter-attacking. If Højlund can find a way to stop wrestling with defenders and actually run in between the defensive lines and can receive the ball at the right time, he definitely has the chance to suit this system. And it's always hard because United play with one number 9 in this formation under Ruben Amorim. But right now, you've got to say no. But do I think he can? Yeah, because I want Højlund to succeed. I want him to prove me wrong. But I'm contradicting myself here. I'm going to say no, actually. I'm going to say, does he suit the team? No, he doesn't. He doesn't have enough quality. And this is where it brings on to my final segment. Does he need to be sold? Like, should United cash in? Because according to SofaScore, Rasmus Højlund has a current market value of, where's it gone? It's currently 42 million euros. That's not good when you signed him for 72. Now, I'm not being funny. Oh no, sorry, it's 49 million euros. I don't have my glasses on. My apologies. So, I'm not being funny, but if you've digressed by nearly 30 million euros in the space of 2 seasons, you're not on the right track, are you? And this season, he was injured in August, but since then, he's been available. And there's been times where he's been dropped. There's been times where, like now, where he starts. And what really concerns me from now until the end of the season is, I think this is, if you wanted to look at any player for a golden opportunity, it's Rasmus Højlund. Because, like I've said, United have no current strikers available. He's the only guy available. And United are resting on the Europa League to save our season. Obi Martin's not registered to play. Xerxes is out injured. It's all on Rasmus Højlund to play as that striker position. And if he can just find just a little bit of form and score 1 or 2 goals in that Europa League, who knows? Them goals could be the reason we win the competition. And that's what I mean. I'm pretty sure if Rasmus Højlund scored the winner in the Europa League final or the semi-final, because I'm getting a bit ahead of myself there, because we're not guaranteed the final yet. Bilbao are a very tough side. That preview's coming out tomorrow. And you look at it and you're like, if United can win and Rasmus Højlund scores one of them winners, the fans will completely forget about their agenda and be focused on him and give him that extra chance. But he's got to be the one who takes that chance. And this is what I'm talking about, his golden opportunity. He's the only one that's seen as the real goal scorer in the team. Because if it's not Bruno Fernandes, where do the goals come from at the moment? Højlund's supposed to be our main striker. Højlund's the one that's supposed to be scoring the goals, and he's not at the moment. But I can guarantee you, this is his golden opportunity. If Højlund can find a way to just gather a little bit of form from now until the end of the season and score, a goal every 2 games maybe, or a goal even if he just scores in the Europa League. Who cares about the Premier League anymore? We're not getting relegated. That doesn't matter. If Højlund could just find a way to score 1 or 2 goals in Bilbao or against Bilbao before that final, it could mean the difference to our season. And that's what I'm talking about. Fans are so reactionary. But after a season like this and consistently inconsistent, poor performances from Rasmus Højlund, I believe the jury's made its decision. And a lot of the fans are Rasmus Højlund out. And yeah, this is the only thing, is that should Man United cash in, and if he doesn't finish the season strong and take this opportunity, you're going to have to look at cashing in for him, because if he's digressed after just 1 season, that €49 million market value may crash down to around 20 or 30. And then who's going to buy him then? That's the question. So yeah, if you made it far into the video, thank you for watching. Leave a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and let me know in the comments down below on what you think about Rasmus Højlund. Thank you so much for watching. It's a bit longer video than what I normally make, but you're all absolute legends, and I'll see you in the next one.